It's very simple. The globalist bankers want to take our liberties. They menace us with al-Qaeda. They want to overthrow Gaddafi. They put in al-Qaeda. They want to overthrow the Serbs, say it's humanitarian. When the Serbs fight back, they bring in al-Qaeda. They want to get the Russians to start a war with them, bring in al-Qaeda, 1979. Zbigniew Brzezinski's written 2 books bragging that in 79, they created the group, had them attack the Russians to get them to then invade Afghanistan so that the Soviets could have their, quote, Vietnam. This is a fact. So Webster Tarpley is going to break this down for you from the history right through what's happening today to understand what's going on here.
Al-Qaeda is exactly what you say. Under Bush, Cheney, and the neocons, Al-Qaeda was a reason to bomb and invade countries.
Americans are asking, who attacked our country? The evidence we have gathered all points to a collection of loosely affiliated terrorist organizations known as Al-Qaeda. A person named Osama bin Laden are linked to many other organizations in different countries and brought to camps in places like Afghanistan, where they are trained in the tactics of terror. They are sent back to their homes or sent to hide in countries around the world to plot evil and destruction. And tonight, the United States of America makes the following demands on the Taliban. Deliver to United States authorities all the leaders of Al-Qaeda who hide in your land. They will hand over the terrorists, or they will share in their fate.
So Bush Cheney would say, if Al-Qaeda is there, we can bomb them, we can invade them. Now, in the case of Obama, with the new Brzezinski strategy, which is different, with Obama, you see, Al-Qaeda becomes your infantry. It becomes the U.S. ground forces. These characters would rather not have an invading force, so they say, we'll provide air cover, and the ground forces, the ground troops, our divisions, in effect, our infantry, will be this Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb.
All right, this is disturbing. A new message from a senior member of Al-Qaeda to the Libyan rebels on the ground. Keep up the fight against Muammar Gaddafi. Do not retreat, says this Al-Qaeda leader to the rebels. Obviously, you know, no matter what you say in this thing, we're on the side of these rebels. I mean, that's become pretty clear, right?
Absolutely.
And now, so Al-Qaeda and we're on the same side, I guess. Al-Qaeda and we're on the same side, I guess, in this. And we're on the same side, I guess, in this.
Well, we know for a fact that Al-Qaeda has been active in the eastern part of Libya for years, and they viewed Benghazi and other parts of eastern Libya as a very fertile recruiting ground. The question that you're asking, you know, who is it that we're supporting? You know, honestly, you can't put them all under one label. So you do have the extremists. You do have Al-Qaeda elements trying to take advantage of this. No doubt about it.
I'm a bad American because I refuse to say that now Al-Qaeda are freedom fighters and great people. Now it's admitted that British special forces were inside eastern Libya even before the latest rebellion started. So Al-Qaeda rebels, and it's admitted that the head of the Libyan rebels was trained by the CIA for decades in Virginia, and he admits that he's working with Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda.
The breaking news, just to reiterate, it is now clear that the United States is directly assisting the Libyan rebels in their battle against Muammar Gaddafi's forces. The extent of that assistance remains unclear.
Based on a report in Il Sole 24 Ore, the main business newspaper in Italy, they sent their correspondent to Darna and interviewed the commandant of the city, the rebel commander. And he's a guy called Hasidi, and he says, yes, I sent 25 fighters to go and kill the U.S. and NATO forces in Afghanistan. And he says he was there himself. He was captured near Peshawar. He may well have been an inmate of the Guantanamo Bay concentration camp. That part's not clear. But he is a former U.S. POW captured as a terrorist. And he is now commanding this amazing city of Darna, where you've got one terrorist fighter for every 1,000 or 1,500 of population. And this is the group that the U.S. regime, with Obama and Hillary Clinton and Cameron in Britain, are proposing to arm. They want to give them modern weapons They want to give them a share of the 32 billion of Libyan assets that have been confiscated here, and they want them to have a share in the oil revenue.
It's slightly different because now the air support comes in on the side of al-Qaeda. And with that, though, you've got a tremendous contradiction, because in Obama's speech the other night, Obama said, well, I want to salute the American military because they're going after al-Qaeda all across the globe. Well, no, not in Libya, where you're arming them and financing them and providing air support. And
they just move al-Qaeda around all over the world, call them humanitarian freedom fighters if anybody resists them, and then the UN and NATO comes in and bombs the daylights out of them.